Alright, so other media. Do you want to start or should I start?
You can start.
Okay. Um, in terms of, I guess I'll start with games first. I kind of slowed down what I've been playing because, well, I finished God of War 3 story. You know what? The game is good. I have a lot of issues with the games, but honestly, the second half of God of War 3 got a lot better because like the different weapons you get were made the game a lot more fun. Like you get like a gigantic cestus for each fist, and you can punch the hell out of people. And you get something called the Nemesis Whip, which is really cool. It's like a spiked whip that you can like manipulate and has lightning, and there's some pretty cool stuff in that game. And I've been putting a lot of work in Ultra Street Fighter 4, learning some of the new characters since Super, which is like Yoon, um, Poison, of course, because Poison plays exactly the way I play, which is super patient, super frustrating as fuck, and safe. Um, and I've been learning. Well, I've been putting in work with Ryu and Ken, of course, because my bread and butter. Uh,
Of course.
that's games pretty much. I mean that. Yeah, I guess. Oh, besides Sacred Stones, of course, been streaming that. Um,
And so I believe this was also, don't forget to mention, since the last time we talked, you have now found out that you can stream Fire Emblem 9.
yes, Path of Radiance. I've had it on my mind for a very long time. I debated should I do it, should I try it, and I always said I'll try it. I never got around to it. You reminded me, so I said fuck it, I'll try it, and I did, and it worked perfectly. So
So
we're gonna do that.
look forward to that in the near future.
Yeah, that's it for games. Anime. I finished rewatching Toriko, and I started rewatching Hunter x Hunter, 2011, of course. Uh,
Now, on a brief note, as someone who has read the manga and then rewatched the anime after reading the manga, how does it compare?
I honestly, as much as I don't like what they did with the Gourmet Fest, my I actually stopped. I stopped before the end of the Starjun fight because I I stopped after the 100 twin Kugi punch where he knocks the mask
Mm,
off. I actually stopped there because I didn't feel like watching anymore. But
that, and you knew that the rest was going to be just
yeah,
complete and utter crap.
yeah. The thing
So
about Toriko and its anime is it has a really good soundtrack, and oh my gosh, the guy who does Toriko is one of the best Japanese performances I've ever seen. He also does
that
Byakuya.
other, of course, and we all know what your favorite thing, your favorite line of his.
Yeah, stop.
Ah,
Yeah,
shit! Stop!
every,
No, he doesn't say the June in that
nah,
scene.
he
He
just
just says,
yells out stop.
ah!
But there's so many
Yeah,
great things he says. Like he also does Byakuya, by the way. But
the Japanese Miyake. Yeah,
but
yeah.
his Toriko, like, just it fits him perfectly, and just the different types of yells he does, and the
Oh, and there's one thing, and there's one thing. There's one thing else that he also, which undoubtedly proves, and that is this: Kugi Punch sounds much better than Spike Punch or Spiked Punch.
yeah, and
For any of you those who've seen the English dubbed or English dubbed and watched the original Japanese voice acting,
hmm
it doesn't. Kugi Punch rolls off the tongue better.
yeah, specifically in my opinion, the Juren, which was 10, Juren Kugi Punch sounded the best to me. But um,
I just wish we could have heard him do the Mugen.
yeah. But anyway, I started
Um,
rewatching Hunter x
anyway,
Hunter because I
2011.
don't know why. I was watching scenes and I'm like, fuck, it's so good. It's so good. Togashi is a genius. I'm rewatching it.
Unfortunately, he keeps taking breaks.
Yeah, that freaking Dragon Quest man. He loves Toriyama. Stop it. You're too good. Stop getting Togashi off track. No, I'm just kidding. He claims it's because of back problems. I'm not gonna judge, but get him over to America. America has better fucking healthcare. No, just get him to Canada. Fuck that.
Yeah, yeah, go take him to Canada, get him all fixed up, and then he'll have no excuses.
Yeah. So
I guarantee you, if Japan had healthcare as good as Canada, Oda wouldn't be taking a week off every other week.
and Togashi wouldn't be taking year breaks.
Exactly.
So yeah, that's what
Friggin'
I've been rewatching. As far as
yeah.
reading, because yes, I do. I do read somewhat compulsory, and also somewhat impulsory. Obviously, read that Dragon Soul chapter, and of course, and I've been reading for my journalism 2 class, and basically my professor has like a whole bunch of degrees, and he used to write for the Inquirer, Philadelphia Inquirer, and we like some of our first assignments had to do with like reading some of his pieces that he wrote like in like 2005, 2006, and just breaking them down, like deconstructing them, and then asking him questions about it if we need clarification.
hmm
And his oh my gosh, his some of his work is like so good. He wrote about his when in 2005, I think, he wrote about his unborn daughter, like who was still like in the womb, and
Really?
like because he turned like the cliche on its head, because typically the male wants a son, but he had he always wanted a daughter actually, and he had two sons prior, and finally he found out that he was getting a girl, and well, he was getting twins, one boy and one girl, and like the verbiage was hilarious. Like he said, I already have like ostentatious plans for her. He's like he was telling his wife how he wanted his daughter to become a governor, and she said, that's what if she wants more choices? And he said, oh, don't worry, there's plenty of choices. There's at least 50 states to choose from. That's the kind of guy my professor is. He's amazing. He's so like
That's like a cool
he's
dude.
so he's got that kind of sarcasm to him. He's very funny. But anyway, that's just a little bit on that. He's a great writer. And he's helped me a little bit with and he's definitely going to help my writing a lot, I think, in terms of creative nonfiction, which will help my overall structuring. But
Which would in turn help you write better by improving your nonfiction writing skills, you'll probably also improve your fiction writing skills.
yeah, and I have creative writing 1 and 2 that I have yet to take, and that'll obviously go towards my fiction skills, like directly. But besides the point, I think is that about it? Did I watch any movies? No, I didn't watch any
Oh,
movies. I didn't really watch much
nothing. Nope.
TV. Not really. I think I'm done. Yeah, I'm done.
Mm-hmm. All right. For me, let's see. For gaming, I'm still, casually doing my One Piece run of Pokemon Omega Ruby, but I'm trying to. I don't want to do as much focus on that because I got, much more else on my plate. Because I'm also in terms of anime, I'm still rewatching the Dragon Ball Z Part 3, and let's see, the last episode I watched was um Goku. It was in fact the last episode I watched was as the infamously titled Super Saiyan 3,
Ah, nice.
where Goku goes Super Saiyan 3 for the first time to fight Majin Buu in order to stall for
Mhm.
time. So so that's what I've been watching in terms of anime. In TV, I've been watching. I catch up with my usual shows and whatnot. And let's see what else. Oh yeah, and then if any of you guys are fans of wrestling out there, on Sunday I watched the Royal Rumble pay per view, which was held in good old city of brotherly love, Philadelphia. And now overall, as the majority of the matches, other than the majority of the matches were like tag team matches, and they were okay, but the two matches that were focused on the main matches of the pay per view were not only were they the main matches, but they were the best matches. The one being the three-way the triple threat match for the title, which was very impressively fought, and the main attraction of the pay per view, which is the Royal Rumble match itself. For those of you who don't know, it's basically a 30-man over-the-top rope battle royale style type of match. And how it works is all 30 competitors, they draw lots to pick a number from 1 to 30 to decide at what point in the match they enter. Now, of course, that's how it's perceived, but as we all know, it's professional wrestling is a staged event. It's not 100% real. It's mostly fake.
It's scripted. Yeah.
So scripted.
Yeah.
So that means the numbers they pick. They used to do a whole picking ceremony, but right now the point of it now is basically what number you enter in is usually used strategically for how to produce a certain level of excitement in the crowd, and how well they plan on having you do in the match and whatnot, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And basically how it does is first they have the first two competitors come out and they start in the match, and then every 90 seconds the next person comes out until all 30 are out. And how you eliminate your opponent is you have to take them, throw them over the top rope, not the middle or the bottom, but over the top rope, and then both feet have to land on the ground. And then the winner of the match gets a shot at, the main title at WrestleMania, which, for those of you who don't know, is the wrestling equivalent to the Super Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
So it was, the match was, and one of the other major things or major draws of the Royal Rumble match is surprise return of certain wrestlers that were maybe on injury leave for a while, and surprise returns of wrestlers who don't wrestle anymore, but they're just in there to draw attention. Like, it's a surprise. Like, because what happens is every 90 seconds when they come in, the wrestler's theme will hit, and then they'll go into the ring and compete in the match. So to get more people talking about the event, they'll have surprise entrances. And the most impressive, or the one that people liked the most, was a man by the name of Bubba Ray Dudley, which was who competed in the ECW, which was a Philadelphia-based hardcore wrestling league, or that used to be around, but it's no longer around, and it was a similar show to that of the current WWE, but just owned by somebody else. And then the other big, pop of the night was at the end when the bad guys were beating up one of the good guys. The Rock came out to save the day, which everyone liked because it's The Rock.
Yeah.
And then needless to say, now unfortunately for them, normally they have 2 shows a week. They have their Thursday show, which is SmackDown, which is not live. It's actually recorded on a Tuesday night. And they have their main show is Raw, which is a live event on Monday nights. Unfortunately for them, those 2 events were scheduled to take place in Connecticut. Connecticut, I think. which if any of you know your geography, that's New England, I think. Yeah, and they were the ones who were actually hit by the snowstorm. So, needless to say, those didn't happen. They got hit by. They actually had. Their state of emergency was real,
Yeah.
as opposed to the state of emergency of New Jersey. So, and another thing, and of course, what makes this event this another reason why this pay-per-view is significant is it begins what is referred to as the road to WrestleMania, because as I previously stated, the WrestleMania is wrestling Super Bowl, so there's a lot of importance behind the event.
Right.
Now, just like any other, despite the fact that it's a scripted sport, it just like every other sport, it has its Hall of Fame, and the night before WrestleMania, they have the Hall of Fame induction ceremony, which is also its big event in itself. And starting with in the new year, they start every so often announcing a new inductee, and the two ones that they've inducted so far, which are both very notable people. The first one, which even some non-wrestling fans should know, is Macho Man Randy Savage.
Macho Man Randy Savage. I don't know.
And the second person announced is a person that is being inducted into the celebrity wing, because not only did they induct wrestlers and wrestling managers and whatnot, but they also induct celebrities that have had important roles in the history of the WWE. Last year, some examples was last year they inducted Mr. T. And a previous year, they inducted Donald Trump. And this year's celebrity inductee is the Governor, Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Nice.
So it's definitely, it's definitely some interesting, and that's always usually like a very interesting event, to find out who are they going to induct this year, whatnot. It's always fun. It's and then so in terms of like I said, other than that, it's been really just watching the same things. Watch the Agent Carter special, which is still going on. It's pretty. I like it. There's also the Simpsons, the Family Guy, the Brooklyn Nine-Nine, stuff like that. And then what was it? So yeah, it was that, and that was terms of TV. And like I said, with as Strider said, since last time we recorded the podcast, I released a new chapter of Dragon Soul, and you should expect another one on Sunday, which is Super Bowl Sunday.
Yep.
Just saying.
You gonna watch it?
That's a dumb question. Am I gonna watch it? Of course. How else would I get to see the commercials?
Oh, jeez. I'm watching
when they first come out.
I'm watching the whole freaking thing for the Pats. I'm rooting for the Pats. I have 2 Pat jerseys, by the way.
Well, I don't really care who wins. I just want to see the Super Bowl commercials.
Oh, by the way, that Deflategate, no proof. Just saying.
I don't really care about that. Like I said, I'll cheer for whoever's winning.
Okay.
But whatever. And then there's actually no. I'll probably What was it? No wait, no, never mind. Anyway, so yeah, you expect a chapter on Sunday, and I was able to get and I'm still getting some writing done, so I should be able to maintain this one chapter a week, hopefully. Because I'm in a decent place right now with the writing, so let's just hope it continues.
Right.
And then the only movies I've watched of note was more or less a rewatch as a part of me watching movies while I write. And that is probably, if not the top, one of the top movie parody franchises. And that is Austin Powers Trilogy. it's very few parody movies over the years have actually been good. You know, most of the successful ones were like in the 80s.
Right.
So, I mean, the Scary Movie franchise was okay, but it kept making too many.
Mm-hmm.
But the Austin Powers movies were funny, and all the jokes were well played.
Yeah.
Because it's very hard you find that oh, they're not just because a lot of the times spoof movies, they'll just they throw in jokes just to make sure, hey, look, we're making fun of this aspect of this genre or movie, you know, because even I mean the Austin Power movies were technically making fun of the spy
Mm-hmm.
movie in general,
Yep.
but most of it was James Bond. It's mostly about making fun of James Bond,
Right.
but there's other spy movie stuff thrown in. But like they throw in the whole, and they make jokes. They point out stuff, a lot of stuff, that doesn't make any sense. Like the villain putting the good guys in an easily escapable near death situation and doesn't even sit there and watch them die.
Right.
So it makes it that much more easier for them to die. And stuff like the fact that the male spy is a sex symbol and always always is hanging out with having sex with attractive women, and then always is with a different main attractive woman that works alongside
Mm-hmm.
him, stuff like that. And and it has Mike Myers playing not one, not two, but at one point playing four different characters.
Yeah.
First being the main character Austin Powers and the main villain Doctor Evil, but then in the second one he picks up the third role of the character known as Fat Bastard, and then in the third one he picks up a fourth character in the form of the villain known as Goldmember.
Mm-hmm.
And true to any just like the Bond films, in each film he has a different main chick with him.
Yep.
And they have various other Bond movie tropes. And they even get to the point where in the second and third one they are conscious when they reuse certain jokes, and they even make fun of the fact that they're reusing jokes.
Uh-huh.
And both the reusing of the jokes and the fact that they make fun of the fact that they reuse the jokes all are still funny.
Mm-hmm.
Like some of the classic Austin Power jokes is when they do the whole thing where the characters are standing behind or behind a screen or like a thin piece of cloth, and their shadows are casted, and they're doing non-weird things, but the way their shadows are positioned, it looks like they're doing weird / disgusting things.
Mm-hmm.
And another one was the fact that pieces of technology that like in the second look like sexual things. Like in the second one, the villain Dr. Evil, he goes to the moon in a rocket that looks like a giant penis.
Right.
Whereas in the second one, he uses the tractor beam to pull down one of the U.S. satellites that looks like a pair of boobs.
Mm-hmm.
And they even make a joke, have like the Osborne show, like pretend like they're watching the movie, and they pause the movie to complain how they're using the same joke from the second one.
Uh-huh.
So so if you're a fan of parody movies, it's definitely worth looking or watching these movies.
Definitely.
They're funny, and they have lots of, they also have cameos of certain like they make a bunch of other jokes. Like for instance, they have cameos of different, celebrities like
Seth Green.
Seth Green's a character. He's not
right.
a cameo. They have the whole thing. They include time travel. They include cloning. They also have the fact that but in terms of cameos, they have a lot of the cameos, a lot of the cameos in the first two are like musical celebrities.
Oh yeah.
Because like they'll do that same thing that they do with Family Guy, where they'll like say they'll music will be playing, and then they'll say, oh, this person. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? But a lot of the third one has a lot of a lot of the cameos being such people as in the opening sequence they have a cameo from Steven Spielberg and Britney Spears and Tom Cruise and Kevin Spacey and Danny
Right.
DeVito, all just in the opening, scene. And see and they have other comedy greats in the movie, like they have a character in the first two movies played by Will Ferrell, whose sole purpose is to get killed, but have trouble killing him. It's hilarious because like you think you kill him, and then he makes say, "Oh, this killed everyone else, but it didn't kill me, and I'm in such great pain," and it's just hilarious. Which sounds weird, but no, but it is. Of course, another thing that they also make fun of is the fact that villain women, like when the bad guy sends a hot girl to get the spy, how they always seem to have a name that sounds sexual. Like in the first one, it was the girl's name was a lot of vagina.
Right.
The second one was it was a Russian girl named I wanna hop a lot, or Ivana want. And then I think the third one you had um I think it wasn't villain women, but he at one of his parties he encountered a set of hot Japanese twin girls. One was named Fook you, and the other one was Fook
Hmm.
me, making it sound like they're saying fuck you and fuck
Right.
me. So definitely, if you haven't seen these movies, you should check them out. They're funny. This is Mike Myers when he was good, before the Love Guru,
Damn.
which pretty much killed his career. Because the only thing he's done since then is I think the third and fourth Shrek.
Yeah, otherwise he's been Shrek'd.
So, and I think that's just about it about what I've been doing in terms of other media.
Okay.
But there is something of note that I should make an importance that I feel is so important that I should mention it on the stream, and that is that normally I don't decide this early on, but I have made the decision that after I finish rewatching Part 3 of Dragon Ball Z, I will most likely, and when I mean by most likely, am gonna watch Kill la Kill,
Nice.
because I mean, yeah, I've heard a lot of good things about it, and the thing that really hit it for me is, was early in the week watching this YouTube video done by these people known as um, Man at Arms, who basically they make anime and gaming weapons, for their channel to show people, oh God, basically cater to the fanboys in all of us.
Right.
And they made the scissor sword weapon, scissor sword or what blade? There you go, scissor
Yep.
blade. And then obviously they show you some footage of the show to compare what it looks like in the anime or game. And it looked decent and it looked pretty good. And like I said, I've already heard many good things about it. And it's also on Netflix.
Yeah, I watched it on Netflix.
And I didn't actually check, but I don't. If I remember correctly, is it English dubbed?
I think it recently got English dubbed. When I watched it, it didn't have a dub, or it was in progress because I watched it in Japanese. So
Yeah, but I definitely do plan on if I'll probably I'll see if it is English dubbed. I'm gonna see if I can find it English dubbed first, because I mean I usually do prefer English
yeah,
dubbed
same.
over Japanese, mainly just for simple ease of use, I
Hmm.
guess.
Yeah.
But in terms of what they have on Netflix, I believe it's just the Japanese.
Probably.
Yeah, it's just looking at it right now. It says under audio, it's just Japanese.
Okay.
with the ability for subtitles. But so yeah, I'd have to so that's definitely something I'm going to look into. You know, watching or reading or watching it. There you go.
Yeah, it's a good series. I'm sure you'll like it. It's a bit weird. Like it's weirder than Gurren Lagann, but it's good.
All right. Well, I'm just so yeah, it's definitely it should be worth. I know it's going to be, and I'm just to names. I'm looking up some of the uh, English voices that they apparently have been used. Was uh, the main protagonist seems to be played by a lady named by Erica Mendez.
Okay.
Let's see, another character, Tetsu,
Senketsu. Okay.
is being played by David Vincent.
Okay.
And let's see some of the other notable voices is
Steve
or some of
Staley's
the
in there,
other
right? I think Steve Staley's in there somewhere.
let's see, some other the actors and actresses involved are Christine Marie Cabonos as a person named Mako.
Okay.
Um, Carrie Karine
Okay.
as a person named
Satsuki. Yeah.
Satsuki.
Okay.
Matthew Mercer
There.
playing Akiro.
We get Matthew
Uh,
Mercer.
um, um, Grant George as Uzu.
Okay.
Steve Cannon as Hoka.
Okay.
Patrick Seiss as
There we
Ira.
go. Patrick Sates. There we go.
A person that doesn't have a name, Sarah Ann Williams as Nona. Known.
Interesting.
Let's see, what are some other got Michael Sorich as Barrazzo. Erica Harlacher as, and you got Todd Habercorn's in it as Shiro.
Oh, okay. Todd Habercorn. Okay.
Stephanie Say, that sounds familiar, like a
Stephanie
familiar
Shea.
name.
That's or
Yeah,
He-Man Hinata.
she's playing Nui,
Okay.
and that's in terms of,
Majors.
and there's not really many. I mean, and there's some other, apparently some, and there's other characters like apparently and then there's not really. I mean, there's other names or other people. Oh, here's another a person that apparently Kyle Herbert has a small role
Nice.
as Kage Saburo Kaguro.
Okay.
And the president of the Lily Club. And you even got Jesus, friggin' they just listed a third role. They have so far. I've gone down the list, and Todd Habercorn has like 3 separate roles.
Oh boy.
He played a character named Todoroki,
Okay.
and another character named Taro. And we also got Johnny Young Brosh pulling up 2 roles as Kenta and Shiro.
I'm looking at it now.
Yeah.
Which one is the one I'm looking for is Did they not? Okay. It doesn't look like they've listed everybody.
Well, and according to what at least Wikipedia says, apparently Kill la Kill's English dub is not premiering until February 7th, which is when it's supposed to start its Toonami run.
Oh, okay.
So that's, even though Toonami has been cut down in half, one of the slots of the remaining slots left, because February 7th is when it's going to start this cut block. Of the remaining spots left, one of which is going to be taken by the English dub Kill la Kill. So I might just watch that on a weekly basis.
Okay.
As on English dubbed. Of course, I won't be able to watch it live most of the time, probably,
Great.
because I don't think I've because if because most likely I'll be working and I'm probably gonna be too tired to stay up that late, depending on what time it's on. But it's going from the English dub air dates go from February 7th all the way up to about it's approximating it should finish the entire series. The last episode should premiere sometime by July, going on a weekly basis. 24 weeks. That sounds about right. And so, with no current English date listed for the OVA.
Oh yeah.
Probably won't, because usually they don't English dub OVAs.
Yeah.
For anime.
Yeah, they might.
Period.
We'll see.
So.
Is that it?
I think that's about it.
All right.